Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Firstly, let us always offer up a sense of worship and praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who gave His grace and mercy to all of us so that we can get all together in a healthy state without lacking in nothing. Secondly, salawat and salam also delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness into brightness. Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation today is about climate change and air pollution. How is climate change and air pollution in Indonesia? Well, based on data of 87 BMKG observation stations, the normal air temperature in November of the 1981 until 2010 period in Indonesia is 26.9 OC, and the average air temperature in November 2020 is 27.4 OC. Based on these values, the anomaly of average air temperature in November 2020 is a positive anomaly with value of 0.5 OC. For the air pollution, according to KLHK data, air pollution in Indonesia has improved since the pandemic. As much as 78 until 80% of the pollutions caused by motorized vehicle exhaust. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we show you our presentation, let me introduce our team. We are from Group 2. The members are, first one is Tania Safinatun Najah as a first presenter. The second one is Iis Susanti as a second presentation. The third one is Nur Fahiatul Waidah as a third presenter. The fourth one is Rizka Fitri Ramadhani as a fourth presenter. And the fifth one is Muhammad Octavian Nur as a fifth presenter. And the last one is me, Dewi Insani Muflihah, as a moderator. So now, let's get into presentation. The first presentation is about the definition and correlation of climate change and air pollution. For Tania Safinatun Najah, time is yours.
First of all, I will explain the definition of climate change and air pollution. Then I will go on to their relation. Let's get started. Have you ever heard climate change and air pollution? Do you know what the meaning of the words? If you don't know, let me explain about it. What is climate change? Climate change is a long-term change in the average weather patterns that have come to define Earth's local, regional, and global climates. Climate change is not only an environmental phenomenon, its negative impacts have social and economic consequences too. Then, what is air pollution? Air pollution can be defined as the presence of harmful substances in the air, either particulates or microscopic biologic molecules that pose health hazard to living organisms, such as people, animals, or plants. Air pollution comes in many forms and may include a number of different pollutants and toxins in various combinations. Next, I'd like to talk about the link or the relation between climate change and air pollution. Climate change and air pollution, not the same thing, but both of them are closely linked. Climate change can impact air quality, and conversely, air quality can impact climate change. Change in climate can result in impact to local air quality. Atmospheric warming associated with climate change has the potential to increase ground level ozone in many regions, which may present challenge for compliance with the ozone standards in the future. Emission of pollutants into the air can result in change to the climate. Ozone in the atmosphere warms the climate, While different components of particulate matter can have either warming or cooling effect on the climate. For example, black carbon, a particulate pollutant for combustion, contributes to the warming of the earth, while particulate sulfates cool the earth's atmosphere. That's all from me. Let's move to the next discussion with different speakers.
That was the definition and correlation of climate change and air pollution. Now, move on to the second presentation. The second presentation is about the factors that cause the climate change and air pollution. For E.E. Susanti, time is yours.
Well, here I will explain what cause or factor the occurrence of climate change and air pollution. Factors that cause climate change including greenhouse gas effect, global warming, ozone layer damage, forest function damage, uncontrolled use of chlorine fluorocarbon or CFC, and industrial exhaust gas. Then the occurrence of air pollution can be caused by two factors. They are natural factor and human factor. First, natural factor. For example, volcanic activity that emits volcanic ash and gas, forest fires, and the activity of microorganisms. The second cause of air pollution is the human factor with all its activities such as 1. Burning. For example, burning garbage, burning in household activities, motorized vehicle, and industrial activities. 2. Smelting process. For example, the process of smelting steel, making cement, ceramics, and asphalt. 3. Mining and excavation. 4. Processing and heating. For example, the processing of food. 5. Waste disposal, both industrial waste and household waste. 6. Chemical process. For example, in petroleum refining and mineral processing. 7. Development process. For example, the constructions of buildings and roads. And the last, number 8, atomic or nuclear experimental process. Those some of the factors that cause climate change and air pollution.
Thank you so much for the second presentation. Now let's get into process of climate change and air pollution. I please Nur Fakiatul Huaida.
My name is Nur Fatiatul Waida. I will explaining topic about the process of climate change and air pollution. The first is climate change. When sunlight reaches the Earth's surface, it can either be reflected back into space or absorbed by the Earth. Once absorbed, the planet releases some of its energy back into the atmosphere as heat or infrared radiation. Greenhouse gases such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane absorb energy, slowing or preventing the loss of heat into space. In this way, the greenhouse gas act like a blanket, making the earth warmer than it should be. This process is known as the greenhouse effect. Natural greenhouse gas or non-chlorinated gas are good in natural quantities. However, when humans begin to ever contribute to big insulation of greenhouse gas, it becomes a problem. With excessive buildup of excessive greenhouse gas, the Earth's atmosphere warms to unnatural temperatures. Global warming is also causing sea surface temperatures to rise, changing rainfall patterns, especially the tropics. These factors are the cause of the Earth's climate change occurred many times. The process of air pollution is the beginning with the entry of substantial energy in the form of emission. Emissions are pollutants that are released into the air in units of time. Emissions can be caused by natural processes as well as human activities. Emissions due to natural process are called eugenic emissions. For example, the decomposition of organic materials by decomposing bacteria that produce methane gas. Emissions caused by human activities are called anthropogenic emissions. For example, the result of burning fossil fuels and the use of chemicals sprayed into the air. The increase in emissions caused by motor vehicles has quite an effect on the ozone layer.
That was the third presentation. Let's move on to the fourth presentation. The fourth presentation is about the effect of climate change on air pollution. For Rizka Fitri Ramadhani, time is yours. That was the third presentation. Let's move on to the fourth presentation. The fourth presentation is about the effect of climate change on air pollution. For Rizka Fitri Ramadhani, time is yours.
Okay, next, the impact of climate change. The following is the impact of climate change quote from the Directorate General of Climate Control, the Ministry of Environment and Forestry of the Republic of Indonesia, that is 1. Water quality decrease. 2. Increasing quantity of water. 3. Habitat change for extinction of species. 5. The quality and quantity of the forest. 6. Increasing greenhouse gas due to deforestation. 7. Increasing epidemic. 8. Case of skin cancer, cataract, and a decrease in durability. 9. Reduce agricultural areas. 10. The decline of agricultural productivity. 11. Partial flooding. And the last, small island sinking. Whereas the effect of air pollution, aside from conserves energy future, that is 1. Health issues. Problem with breathing, heart, and even cancer, as well as with children, lead to pneumonia and asthma. 2. Acid rain. 3. Eutrophication. Eutrophication is a condition in which large amount of nitrogen in some chemical pollutant develop on sea level. As a result, algae emerged that adversely affected species of fish, plant, and animal. 4. Global warming. 5. Negative effect on wildlife. Toxic chemical in the air force wildlife species to move to a new location. And the last, ozone layer depletion.
So that's the effect of climate change and air pollution. So now let's get into how to prevent and resolve the climate change and air pollution. I place to you the last presenter, Muhammad Octavian Nur.
How to prevent climate change and air pollution. 1. Renewable and environmentally friendly energy source. 2. Limiting and reducing the use of gasoline fuel vehicles. 3. Clearing out forests, planting on a larger scale. 4. Reduce food waste. 5. Using public transportation. 6. Planting anti-pollutant plant. 7. Try urban farming. The language of littering. 9. Test vehicle emission. 10. Energy saving.
That was how to prevent and resolve climate change and air pollution by Muhammad Octavian Nur, who was the last presenter in our presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all about our presentation. Hopefully, our presentation will be beneficial for you all. Thank you so much for the attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.